And here we go. Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. How are we doing? Cheers. A happy top of the morning to you. How's everyone feeling? We've had a lot of good astrology, a lot of crazy astrology, but a lot of change has definitely been the theme, with a lot of personal planets shifting. We're going to dive right into it after I take a sip of my tea. And after we take a second, grab a crystal if you have one around, and just clear your energetic space. Just take a second to reclaim your personal frequency and clear off your static. As we're in Gemini season, you guys, we have this feeling of fast pace, moving, curiosity, excitement, new ideas, new topics, new conversations, new people, new environments. So this has been a very active time, especially for wherever you have Gemini in your chart. For me, it's my 7th house with Mars. So with all of this relationship healing and mirroring energy, and deepening my relationships, deepening how I show up in relationships. But starting with that, you start with yourself. So deepening self-care practice, deepening the messages from the body. With it being in my Mars placement, I definitely have felt more physically exhausted than normal. So that's why I haven't been here as much, but I wanted to come on today and really share the energy, share this message of hope that in all this change, in all this movement and action, we're really finding who we are at a deeper level. And I talked about it yesterday. I was able to make a quick little video about our upcoming festival, which I'll talk about later. But this is an extroverted energy that has helped us step out of our comfort zone, step out of our norm, and really help us work on those parts of visibility that need to be addressed and that feel a little hesitant. Today is the 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Chiron moved into Taurus. So we had Chiron in Aries for some time. And that lesson, that journey, showed us so much about where we might be holding back in our identity, in our roles, in how we show up, in our courageousness, and how we take action, in our boldness, and also in how we stand up for ourselves. So Saturn and Neptune now really supporting that sense of, hey, you really need to fight for yourself at this time, and you really need to be bold and be the first to say something, be ready to share and deliver your way. Now with Aries, of course, there's that fast, impulsive, just here I am kind of energy, which can be great, but it can also be a lot at once, right? And so we're learning kind of this pacing with things. I think Chiron and Taurus is going to teach us so much about the medicine and the lessons of the body, and that when we listen and honor those requests and those needs deeper within ourselves, we really show up and perform in a different way. And Taurus shows us a lot about our self-worth and our values and our level of receptivity. So if we have a mindset that I'm not good enough, this is never going to happen, why don't good things happen to me? Like this mindset kind of energy of what we're telling ourselves, the thoughts that we're feeding ourselves, is really going to be loud for Chiron and Taurus. Taurus rules the throat chakra, so it's all about verbalizing these things and giving ownership to these places that feel, again, hesitant or not ready or not worthy. So this is a beautiful time to really acknowledge what's coming up for you personally and what still needs some love and attention. At the beginning of the month, I know I missed a couple forecasts a couple weeks back, so at the beginning of the month, we'll just dive through the astrology of what we've been going through this month of June. On the 1st, we had Mercury move into Cancer. So that shifted things to a much more personal note, family oriented. Your intuition is coming up a lot, and some heavier emotions, right? We feel more sensitive. We take things a little bit more personal. We're feeling like a little bit protective in a sense of wherever our belonging lies. Do we feel like we have a sense of belonging and a sense of union with our community, with our people, with our family, with our loved ones? And if we don't, how are we going about changing that? How are we going about deepening those, those needs, those emotions? And there was a whole conglomeration and concentration of this Cancer energy on the 10th of this month when we had that Venus and Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. Okay, so this was a very emotional time. This was a very interesting moment of understanding in relationships where we have excess, where we have lack, where we need balance, where we need to find ourselves more, where we need to find the beauty of the other more, right? And so it was this beautiful expansion of emotional healing on our personal levels, on our personal trajectories. And then we had the little Venus move into Leo on the 13th. So our love language is becoming more external, is becoming more brave and bold and out there, and maybe a little bit more dramatic with Leo. Hey, but it's also showing us that we have permission to take up space. We have permission to love fiercely and to have that sense of pride and admiration, right, for what we've built and this kind of kingdom that we've created, right? And of course, with Venus in Leo, there's all about, fiery, creative energy coming out, but also this curiosity, like I said, with Uranus and the Sun in Gemini right now, there's a lot of activation up here. So to counter that and to balance that, we really want to have, good morning, we really want to have this sense of awareness of what we're doing with that. And so, okay, so we had the Venus move into Leo. We had the new moon in Gemini that happened on the 14th. And that was definitely a moment to understand our mental process a little bit better, a little bit deeper. Understand where our words are coming from, understand how they're moving, and how we can pace ourselves a little bit differently also. A little cutie. So, Chiron and Taurus, guys. Where do you have Taurus? Where are you feeling like you need to slow down and you need to honor rest? You need to be more receptive. You need to work on that self-worth and that level of deserving, that level of allowing in your life. So we've got a long time to work on that with Chiron in Taurus. I have Taurus in the 6th house. So this is a daily process for me. I've been super busy with getting 2 new properties downtown here in Crestone ready and up, and we're super close. We did launch one of them, this wonderful cottage, right as you come into town. It looks amazing. It feels great. There's such a beautiful newness about this, and we're working on the space behind it, the studio. So this is super exciting. There's more places I can offer for the upcoming festival. So you guys, August 8th and 9th, I want to reiterate and talk about the Vortex Festival that we have coming up. So myself, Kyla, and Aurora here in Colorado in Crestone are going to be hosting our very first retreat. And all of us are astrologers. This is an event by astrologers, for these merging of these beautiful modalities that are very prominent here in the Valley, that are very part of our history, part of our, everyday world. So we thought about putting this event together to bring people together, like-minded souls. We see each other on the internet. We can learn all these things, but it's different when we're in that in-person component. Patrick and I used to have our yoga studio. We would have open mics. We had all kinds of in-person events. And, ever since COVID days, basically, we don't really have that as much, or we feel like this kind of pressure to be at a certain level, to be going to, certain festivals and things. And this one, we wanted to feel very different. We wanted to feel super inclusive, come as you are, meet some amazing people, learn some wonderful things. There's going to be vendors, we're going to have speakers. Astronomy community is going to be merging with us and powering up with us. So we're going to have UFOlogists here talking about their paranormal experiences. We're going to talk about the valley specifically and the history of this land, the sacredness of this land, the understanding of how things were before and what we're moving into, and how we're, co-creating this beautiful collaboration of energy moving forward as we're seeing kind of this old world kind of dying and changing rapidly right before our eyes. So I'm very excited about this festival. And before the festival, we have a retreat as well. So if you're a student of astrology looking to deepen your knowledge, we're going to have courses, we're going to have classes. It's going to be quite a bit of curriculum, but also room for exploring the land, room for taking a dance class with me and deepening your somatic process here, understanding how to work with the elevation and the altitude. We're going to have baking, we're going to have movement. It's going to be so wonderful. And that's before the retreat, the festival. So festival is August 8th and 9th on that Lionsgate portal. And before that, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, yes, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the retreat here in Crestone as well. And on our website, darkskyvortex.com, is where you can find all of this information, whether it be if you're interested in vending, you can sign up and put your application in. We're going to have so much to offer, so much wonderful education and experience and connection. We're going to have a kids zone where we're going to have activities for the kiddos, working with the telescopes, understanding how to observe the night sky, and bring astrology back into the physical, back into looking up at the night sky, back into understanding how it shows up in our daily lives, but not having that be our end all be all. We're going to have so many different things, so many different modalities that we can really look at and explore together in this beautiful, safe space. So thank you guys for being here. I'm so happy to jump back on. I've been very, very busy, but I'm so happy to find some balance with that and be able to still show up. Pluto retrograde, y'all. She funny. So she can really internalize a lot of this fear or anxiety or doubt around our credentials, around our role and our identity. But this is the beauty of Chiron moving into Taurus. Our body is going to teach us so much about our muscle memory, what needs to be acknowledged, what needs to be released, what wants to be held and nurtured. So thank you so much for being here. You know where to find me for personal readings. I'm not doing written reports for this summer, just the hand-drawn charts. And Zoom calls, because summertime is my busy season for my rentals. So thank you for understanding. They will come back in the fall, but I've got my Zoom calls, so we can hop on a session one-on-one and dive into your chart and answer any questions and really just deepen that understanding, deepening that love and appreciation. So you're amazing. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.